So anyway, this one, when you see the bigger picture, has wings surrounding the figure, but we could also see it as a vulva where you emerge from. So, and I obviously love the sanguine colors. For that technique of my printing, I actually apply the ink, but then at places I rub it off to create the light. Mostly with my finger, my little pinky, which hurts after 3 hours. But and now I got into Q-tips. that helped.
So the minute I saw those two similar pieces of metal, I was like, look at that. They're two skyscrapers. Wow, I just found two skyscrapers. So I brought them home to the boneyard, and there they sat. As often happens, like when building a city, they sat there waiting for permits. They sat there waiting for the ground to be leveled. They sat there waiting for inspiration. And they sat there and sat there and sat there because I kept going, okay, well, great. These are two skyscrapers, but how the heck am I going to depict a city? That's not what I normally do. Gee, they're going to sit there. And in the back of my mind, I kept thinking, I know I got two skyscrapers, but what am I going to do? Meanwhile, that rusted, curvy, holy piece of metal that's over on the left-hand side.
This painting is called Cathedral, and it's from the year 1988. I was living alone in a little garret kind of a place in Santa Monica, and it was just me and a big painting in front of me. This is 4 by 5 feet. The painting is now incidentally hanging in the Philbrook Museum of Art in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But when it was in my presence, it took over my life for a month. It took over my apartment. It's called Cathedral because in some ways the shape of the prominent main subject is sort of like an arch you'd find in a cathedral. But it also brings out the sense of a religious nature to me in my paintings.
I returned and painted this little vignette, and it was a overcast day, and there was a lot of spiritual feeling in this location as I was painting. The forest was very dense, as you can see to the left there. But as I painted it, I realized the spiritual aspects of the door opening up and some form of opening into the spirits of the Indians that must have been on the preserve when it was their land. And they lived off this land. And so as I was standing there painting this, I just felt that there had to be a window in this painting in which the spirits could move through. It was just a very moving experience, and one that was created very quickly.
My main goal in this, besides what you can read what I write in terms of quantum physics and stuff like that, was to actually look at the gesture of creativity. In other words, when you're just starting something, it has all kinds of potential things. Like any one painting could also turn into, instead of all these different colors, could turn into just the color of a certain color of green or a certain color of red. But if you leave them just as a initial thrust, it has all kinds of potential to be anything. And what I wanted to explore was the visual potential that's inherent in all the paintings, so you can make up a story about what it is. Is it a landscape? Is it a seascape? Or is it a moonscape? Or is it frogs in a pond? Or is it anything that you want to make up? All kinds of potential stories are there simply because it's a gesture of creativity. And that's what I like about these paintings.
For several years now, I have been doing an abstract collection in addition to my realistic collection of still lifes. And the reason why I started doing abstract pieces was really the suggestion of my husband, who would watch me working on 6 square inches for 6 long hours and then say, wow, you need to shake it off before you come home. So my abstract pieces are really focusing on expression, experimentation, and feeling. And in the Branchworks series, I started out using a very textural black etching ink and a palette knife and sculpted the shapes of branches and trees onto 4 paintings that I called the Branchwork series.